The latest Family Guy special has just dropped, and it's titled Disney and Hulu Present Disney's Hulu's Family Guy's Hallmark Channel's Lifetime Familiar Holiday Movie definitely hints that it's going to be parodying those cheesy Hallmark and Netflix holiday movies. So, is this a new Family Guy Christmas favourite? Let's get into it. Just like I mentioned in my review of the recent Halloween special, I do wish that they'd gone the extra mile and given the intro a Christmas makeover. I mean, if this was just a regular episode then I wouldn't bring it up, but since it's technically a special, it would have been a really nice touch. I mean, The Simpsons does this occasionally and it really helps the episode stand out and feel more, well, special. So after the intro, we then cut to Cityopolis, which is a reference to how these types of movies always begin with generic stock city footage. This could be of a city that we can't really put a name to. Could it be Chicago, New York, Seattle? Who knows?
Cityopolis.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Cityopolis, the most famous city in the world?
Lois rushes out of her apartment and heads to her office, the Big Pie headquarters, where she is greeted by Glenn.
Here's your protein bar breakfast to show you're too busy to eat a normal breakfast.
This moment did get a laugh out of me because as much as I love these kind of Hallmark holiday movies, me and my husband always mock them for their predictable formula, which is a common trope being that these specials have a main character who is a workaholic far too busy to slow down and enjoy the holiday cheer. Lois and her 3 coffees are then summoned to her boss's office where he is absolutely losing it over a small baker called Aunt Maud winning the Best Pie Award. And it was at this point that I thought my baby was sleeping and I didn't realise that she was watching the episode the entire time. And she found Carter absolutely hilarious. Just listen. Oh. And don't worry, I didn't let her watch past this point. I'm gonna wait until she's at least 3 before she can binge watch Family Guy. That's a joke, by the way. We then get this meta joke that Quagmire was only hired because he's Canadian.
Yep, being Canadian is the best thing about me.
Because if you didn't know, pretty much every one of these holiday movies are filmed in Vancouver because of the huge tax credits. So therefore, productions have to dish out a lot of jobs to Canadians for grants and money and whatnot. Anywho, Carter cannot stand being second place for his pies, so he sends Lois to steal Aunt Maud's secret recipe, because it's not a Hallmark Christmas without some kind of corporate sabotage.
We have tried everything to get this piece of land. We have 3 weeks. If not, the deal falls apart before Christmas.
Lois hits the road and decides that this is now the perfect time to apply some mascara, which ends exactly how you'd expect. She spots a bear on the road, swerves, and crashes her car. Honestly, I think this was a wasted opportunity to bring in Tim the Bear from the Cleveland show. I mean, come on, by this point, the writers must have completely forgotten that he ever existed, much like poor Rallo and Roberta. Anyway, Lois crashes into Townsville, and before anyone gets too excited, do not expect a Powerpuff Girls cameo, because Townsville is really just an exaggerated mashup of all those generic cutesy small towns that holiday movies insist exist. We can only dream. Lois pulls into the garage to get her car fixed and meets the local mechanic Peter. And like every small town guy in these movies, he has a child.
His mom died of a sad, tragic disease.
Sounds made up.
It is.
Oh yeah, and to throw another wrench into the works, Peter is also dating Bonnie. Lois checks into the bed and breakfast and Peter shows up to let her know that her car won't be ready for 3 days.
Yeah, the part's on a high shelf and we only got 1 ladder in town.
So now she is stuck in this town, Peter offers to show her around. This includes burning indigenous books, Peter dressing up as a cow and getting milked, and skating on an icy pond only to then fall in. It is then that Lois finally spots Aunt Maud's pies, and you would never guess who Aunt Maud really is.
Peter, your Aunt Maud's pies?
This is when Stewie is dropped off by 2 of Peter's buddies.
And this is Cleveland, in a scene that can be cut without loss of continuity in certain red states.
A recurring joke is Peter is insisting that his wife died, when in reality, they just split up.
Well, when my beloved wife died,
You divorced her. I don't know why you won't admit it.
Because why are all these dads always widowers in these movies? Peter has to rush off because he and Bonnie need to rehearse their song and dance number for the upcoming pageant. And back at the bed and breakfast, Carter calls Lois and ramps up the pressure to steal the pie formula. And my baby was definitely right to find Carter hilarious, especially his line about Taxi here, starring Queen Latifah and Jimmy Fallon.
You know a movie's good when both leads kinda stop acting after.
Lois then visits Peter at his house.
You missed your court date and now I'm an Amber Alert.
We soon find out that Peter has another kid, Chris, who is a meth addict. I have to admit, this made me feel a little sick. It kinda grossed me out. What is it with Family Guy constantly making jokes about characters being meth addicts? They win me back though with this line about Lois being too focused on her career to have kids.
Oh yeah, Bonnie and me do it in the career a lot too. That's why we ain't got no more kids.
Later that night, Peter swings by to drop off a pie.
I made it for a wedding, but then I found out it was 2 grooms, so, no way.
I love these little jokes that despite this being a cutesy little small town, there is actually a real undercurrent of bigotry. Also, I have to give the writers credit here for not having a joke about Peter making cream pies. They're more mature than me because I definitely would have written one in here. But my dirty, immature mind aside, when Peter enters the room, he finds a post-it note revealing Lois's true intentions about stealing the pie recipe.
So this whole time our love was fake? Like COVID?
What?
There's also a really funny joke here about Lois sending a text to apologise to Peter, but because the signal is so bad, an old geezer turns up to deliver the message in person. When Lois checks out, she bumps into actress Andie MacDowell because apparently she's always in these holiday movies. This was the only part that didn't work for me because not only is the impression really bad, but it is a little off-putting and slow.
It's Mama, Andie MacDowell, in this movie.
Plus, she hasn't appeared in that many Christmas movies. I think it would have been way funnier to have Lacey Chabert in this role instead. She is literally known as the queen of Christmas movies, and you could have that added joke that she used to voice Meg before Mila Kunis took over.
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh my god, we're getting closer to the beginning! You're Lacey Chabert!
I don't know, it just felt like they could have picked someone a bit more current in this whole holiday Christmas movie streaming world. Anyway, in the town square, Peter is about to perform his Christmas duet, but Bonnie is ill and cannot perform, and instead of cancelling, Lois steps in. And although Peter does not trust her at first, he quickly changes his mind when their butts touch. So ladies, if you want to know if someone truly likes you, just rub your ass on them. Actually, wait, don't do that. It ends exactly how all these movies end, with Peter proposing after only knowing each other for just a few days. In a twist, Carter is fired, Lois is promoted, and Peter encourages her to take the job. 1 week later, Lois has everything she ever wanted, but she is not truly happy. She runs out only to slip and fall down the steps. We then end with Lois becoming a quadriplegic, still wanting Peter. But Peter is no longer keen.
It's just a lot, is all I'm saying.
It was a really dark way to end the episode, but funny in kind of a dark Family Guy way. For me, this is a massive improvement over the past Christmas specials, and I liked that instead of squeezing 3 different parodies into one episode, they focused on just one story, allowing it to breathe and have more jokes. They were really able to flesh out those tropes in Hallmark movies that we probably all talk about on our sofas while watching them, but haven't really seen parodied on the screen. I think you would get more enjoyment out of this episode if you actually watch these types of movies, and I do, so I caught all these little jabs and references, and I liked them. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. It had ebbs and flows of funny jokes, darkness, whilst dusted with a nice layer of excitement for the holidays to come. But yes, what did you think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you not? What are your thoughts? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.